Good evening, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood author, Michael Morgan. Tonight, I'm going to do something a little different with my program. I'm going to read a small excerpt from Life in a Small Town, the very first book I ever wrote back in 2009. It all starts in a small town called Diamond Hills. There lived a family called the Norberts. They were a wealthy family, and this other family called the Washburns, who weren't as wealthy as the Norberts. Grandpa Decker and Grandma Lupe had a daughter named Laura. Then there was Juliessa and Roberto, who had a son named Doug. Laura is currently in kindergarten, and Doug's also in kindergarten. Laura is a straight A student. Doug is a C average student. However, though the two live in the same neighborhood, they can only talk to each other at school because of Grandpa Decker, who doesn't want his daughter hanging around with Doug, and Juliessa, who doesn't want their son hanging around with her because she can't stand Grandpa Decker at all. Little did the parents know the two talked a lot at school. That didn't go over with either set of parents. Finally, one day, Grandpa Decker caught his daughter hanging around with Doug and went outside and grabbed her and drug her in the house, kicking and screaming. Doug tried to help her, but Grandpa Decker was way too strong for him to handle. Finally, Doug ran home to his mom and said, "Mommy, Laura and I were outside playing. Her dad came out and drug her inside, kicking and screaming. I tried to stop him, but he's too strong." His mom asked him, "Why were you even playing with her in the first place, Doug?" Doug was shocked that his mother would ask such a question. Meanwhile, Grandpa Decker grounded his daughter for 6 months. Doug's mom grounded him for 1 month. Grandma Loopy, however, didn't agree with her husband, but was too afraid of him to say anything because of his temper of steel. While Doug's mom was a likable, sweet mom who everyone liked, Grandpa Decker owned a steel mill in town. Doug's parents owned a dairy in town which supplied milk to the whole countryside. Doug and Laura attended Diamond Hills Elementary, which was the only school in town, and the other kids in town went there too. You see, Laura, she had an abusive grandfather, and her mom was very gentle. She didn't believe in treating her kids that way. But this Grandpa Decker guy, he was a hell to live with. The next question I ask is, who's interested in knowing the rest of the story? When I wrote Life in a Small Town, I wrote it based on elements of what my life was like and what I would have liked my life to have been. What could have been had my grandfather hadn't had so much stigma against me. Now Doug is going through the exact same thing, but at some point during the story, Laura and Doug are going to have a child themselves after they graduate. To find out how the rest of the story went, you can buy it at xlibris.com. The book title is Life in a Small Town by E.L. Steinberg. The ISBN number on it, 978-1-4568-3910-9. And the book is already in the Library of Congress too, as a added bonus, so to speak. Hopefully, my book will end up in other places too. I'm working on a deal right now with AWBC, which is a book club, bookstore, and it's possible they might be selling my book too. So all of my fans, you can check in those stores as well to see if my book is out there yet. You can find it on the internet in electronic, paperback, or hardcover. It's approximately 100 pages long, but it's a really good story when you think about it. You know, because you got all this stuff going on. These two families that are locked into a financial war with each other, a monopoly, if you will. But the possibilities of how the story is interpreted is left to 6.5 billion people across the world. Maybe 7 million, or 7 billion, I should say. And approximately 300 million of them live right here in the United States alone. So, who's interested in buying my story? You can contact my publisher to buy a copy of my book at I gotta find that number in here. I've got it. 1-888-795-4274, or you can also send an email to orders@xlibris.com. That's xlibris with a capital X. The hardcover edition is 978-1-4568-3911-6, and the ebook version is 978-1-4568-3912-3. That's where you can find it. And the Library of Congress control number is 201-091-9072 for verification purposes. So I've already got some pretty good popularity going. It's just a matter now of who all is interested in reading my story. The copyright is 21 is copyright 2011 by E.L. Steinberg. everything is the product of my imagination. So, so I look forward to hearing from you.